The next step in our maze game is to first make our maze, which we have now, and I demonstrated how to do that in the last video. So we've made our maze. Now what we need to do is put sprites or objects in rather that the snowman can pick up, and on the way of being picked up can then add score to your maze. The other thing we want is that when the snowman has picked up all the objects that are around the maze, that it will jump to the next level. Okay, so let's go about that now. We're going to put on some obviously more sprites because we want more graphics there, so we start with sprites. We create, we've got to import, and we're going back to our sprites, and we're going to pick up a tomato. That'll do. Yes, we do. Hopefully that's the right size. We can change it if it isn't. Okay. Now we obviously need to make an object. Right click on object. Actually we come back here. We need to rename this to SPR underscore tomato. So that's there. And our object will be the same, create it. And our sprite will be the tomato. We'll call it object underscore tomato. Oops, we need an underscore there. And also we want to be solid so that it can make a collision. We don't need to add any events, so we can close that. Alright, we go to our room. We can start putting in our tomatoes. Yep, and that's not a bad size. It might be a bit big for this one here. So we might have to reduce our tomato size a little bit. So let's get rid of that. We go back to our tomato sprite. We're going to resize it. We're going to change the percentage, and we're going to reduce it by up to let's say 60% of what's there, or let's say 70% of what's there. So it'll decrease 70% in size. That's probably a bit much, perhaps. Although that should be fine. We'll try that, see how we go. So there we go. So we go to our room again. And we want to put in our tomatoes. Yeah, that's better. So what we do is we just dump a whole lot of tomatoes around the place. And what happens is that our snowman has to pick up all the tomatoes as it moves around the maze. And then that will add points. And also the tomatoes will disappear as we meet them. Put one more in. Now we're also going to put a gate, if you like, a door, so that it stops the snowman getting to the another little object in here, which is going to take it to the next level. So we need to find the sprite for a door, and we need to find the sprite for the next level. Okay, so what we've done here is we've put all the tomatoes around the maze. We've also put a door which blocks the fire, which is the portal to the next level. Now to make a next level we need a room 1, so we need to create, and there's our room 1, and we can, it doesn't matter at the moment, but we can put in more walls in here. Just hold down there. I'm not going to make it up. I'm just going to show you that will take you to the next level. Okay, so there's our room 2. So let's go back now to our, we've closed room 1 and close room. Now we've got to work out, when we collide with each of these tomatoes, it's got to do 2 things. First of all, it's got to make the tomato we're colliding with disappear. Second thing, it's got to add our score to by 1. Okay, so let's do the first bit first. The collision with the tomatoes.